I don't know about the whole binary system, but winning cures everything in the NFL. And sometimes you get lucky. And the next 4 weeks, here's who the Steelers are playing. A franchise with 6 Super Bowls. So I hold you to a higher level. They're playing Drake May, Carson Wentz, Joe Flacco, and Jake Browning. So if they don't go 4-0, we got problems, regardless of what binary system you're dealing with. Joe Burrow, Pittsburgh's gotten very lucky. Joe Burrow gets hurt, and he won't play the 2 times Pittsburgh's going to face him. If you look at the schedule, they face Miami week 15. Miami could be in full tank mode. It's after the trade deadline. They may sell off players for picks, and they may have an interim coach. And then they play the Ravens in week 18, and I think it's realistic to think the Ravens are going to win this now without Joe Burrow going away, and will be resting starters. So you get 2 Jake Brownings, a Miami team that I would bet at the trade deadline is moving off players, and a Ravens team resting starters in the final regular season week. So not all 10-7s are equal, because the problem for the Steelers in the last decade has not been that they don't win. It's that they don't beat good teams and great quarterbacks. So all I care about with the Steelers this year is 5 games in the regular season. Week 8, Green Bay and Jordan Love. Week 10, Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Week 13, Josh Allen at home, Bills. Week 14, at Lamar Jackson. And then week 16, Jared Goff and the Lions personnel. That's the season. I don't care about the Falcons or beating Jake Browning. Well, Colin, that's not fair. You've got 6 trophies. I judge Georgia football different than Purdue. Okay, you got 6 trophies. So there's a lot of breaks teams get, and playing Jake Browning over Joe Burrow twice, getting a tanking Miami after the trade deadline, Ravens in the final week, resting starters are breaks.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's completely true. And the schedule is there for their taking right now. You have the Patriots. The Vikings are an interesting one because I'm curious to see what Carson Wentz looks like with Kevin O'Connell. It's definitely, obviously not on the level of, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, but still sneaky interesting, honestly. And then again, the Cleveland Browns. Come on, what are we talking about here? And yeah, obviously a Joe Burrow-less Bengals. I mean, so there are true wins there. The Bears have been a mess. The Colts are definitely intriguing. The Dolphins have obviously been an absolute mess. I mean, and yeah, week 18, unless the Steelers are competing for the division, and that game matters in week 18, the Ravens will definitely be resting everyone. And even so, even if this all comes down to week 18 to win the division or something, between the Steelers and the Ravens, there's a real chance. Like, I don't know, the Ravens, they were in a similar situation. Not exactly, but they played Zay Flowers in the final game of the season. He got injured, and that really, really, really hurt their playoff potential. You're losing your wide receiver one, and then you now got to go face the Buffalo Bills on the road. That's not easy. So maybe if they're competing for the number 1 seed or something, like, it's potentially a little bit differently, but there is a real chance that if the Ravens kind of got the division locked up and their seeding is locked up, yeah, then they are resting everyone. And so, there are wins there, easy wins. But it's interesting because if I just look at it and take the easy wins and say they win all the easy wins and all the ones that you're just kind of like, well, I don't know. Well, maybe we'll see how this game looks. Like, it does give them 7 wins or so. It gives them 8 wins total. Like, if you look at, like, if you think, like, yeah, you know what? Oh, actually I missed one. So then it would be 9. I skipped over the Patriots because I was just going from the Vikings onward. But the Vikings, again, I think that could maybe be sneaky. And then the Colts too. It's like, again, I don't, Daniel Jones is intriguing with the Colts right now. But if you beat the Patriots, if you beat the Browns, the Bengals, the Bengals again, the Bears, the Ravens final game of the season, the Browns again, and the Dolphins, it's like that's 8 wins right there. And that now gives you 9 wins. And then it's just like, okay, do you come away with the win against the Colts? Are you able to play a tough competitive battle on the road against Baltimore like the Steelers have done in years past, right? Like there are these wins here still, even in the tough games. And it's not to say that you're guaranteed to beat a team like the Bears or even the Bengals with Jake Browning, right? Like when I say easy wins, I don't mean that those are guaranteed wins. They're just wins that the Steelers should, in theory, be able to come out on top and will most likely be favored in those games. And then you throw in those random games like the Packers and the Colts. But the Packers are going to be interesting because obviously it's going up against the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. And, do we see a superhero Aaron Rodgers like we saw against the New York Jets? Is there still enough left in the tank? How healthy is he by week 8? Is this offense rolling? Is the defense significantly better? I mean, the defense needs to get significantly better. That, to me, this defense has not been as good as you would expect this Mike Tomlin-less Steelers to be. And once the defense can start to feel more connected, then when you do go up against some of these other quarterbacks who are not exactly quite settled just yet, Jake Browning, whoever the heck is going to be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, whether it's Flacco or Dylan Gabriel or whatever, even though someone like Daniel Jones is having a lot more success, he's still not this long-time established balling out quarterback. So it's just like Mike Tomlin's able to throw a wrinkle into that in a way that maybe some of the lesser teams can't. Ben Johnson's still trying to figure out Caleb Williams. It's like, well, you're not going to figure out anything else with me. Not with my defense, right? Like you want to be able to solidify and have those moments, really punctuate throughout the season. And we haven't quite seen them just yet because that should have been the case against Justin Fields and the New York Jets, and we didn't get that. We didn't even necessarily get that against the Seattle Seahawks with Sam Darnold. So there was a couple moments here and there where you're like, okay, there you go. I see Tomlin's fingerprints on this, but just not enough quite yet. And the next example of this is going up against Drake May and the New England Patriots. So, the question is Sunday versus Pats a must-win game? Yeah, of course. You don't want to start the season 1-2. I think anytime you're 1-1, that next game is absolutely a must-win because you never want to be behind in the win-loss column. It's just bad energy, man. Bad vibes, right? Good vibes only. It's not a good feeling to be 1-2. It's a little bit different if you're like 6-7 or something in a weird way. But if you start off the season, you only won 1 game and you lost 2. And that 1 game that you won really was kind of like a wild game. You do start to kind of think like, oh man, like you just don't have enough wins to kind of give you confidence earlier on in the season. You have 1 win. It's just, and you have 2 losses, like, and you start to think of like, man, we could have even lost the game that we won. It's just a different feeling. So I do think that this is a pretty strong must win to get into a rhythm. The offense needs to feel more connected. The defense needs to feel more suffocating and just more physically domineering. Like it needs to be more imposing. And needs to make you have the feeling of just like, all right, we just need kind of like a clean, smooth game offensively, and we come away with the win here. You need to have that sense, and you haven't had it yet. And to me, that was the foundation of what would make us this version of the Steelers be a successful team. But even with a team that is not firing at all cylinders just yet, the wins are there. It is there. And depending on who you listen to, a lot of people believe that like 10 wins this year, 9 wins even maybe, is a wild card spot. Gets you into the playoffs. So it's always interesting to see where that cutoff point is right now. And so, Steelers are in it and coming away with some wins when they absolutely should win, of course, goes a long way, because if you do beat the Patriots, you do beat the Vikings, you do beat the Browns, you do beat the Bengals, it's like, all right, you got a lot of wins now. Like you got momentum. Even if you're beating up on bad teams, it's still a lot of momentum. It's still good film that you're putting down, and it's still something to then carry you into a tougher stretch going up against the Packers Colts. Maybe the Colts pop by week 9, and the Chargers and whatnot. So, yeah, winning is the best way to respond after a loss. I like that, Aaron Rodgers. I've never heard that before. That was some unique wisdom. I'm going to have to write that down so I can remember to tell that to people. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Pittsburgh Steelers? Do you think it's a must-win against the Patriots? And how do you feel about them right now? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be a part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.